Okay, now we'll talk about part 4 of separation of substances, in which we are going to see how to separate liquid mixtures from each other. But before that, I just want to tell you about two terms, that is miscible liquids and immiscible liquids. Now the liquids which get mixed together uniformly, spread uniformly and cannot form a distinguished layer is known as miscible liquid. For example, milk and water. And other one is immiscible liquids, in which the two liquids do not mix with each other and can be differentiated, is known as immiscible liquids. Like example is a mixture of oil and water. Okay, now in this slide you can see how liquid mixtures can be separated by using the method known as separating funnel. Now this method is used for separating two immiscible liquids from each other. Now in diagram you can see that the assembly which is being placed, it has a separating funnel in which a mixture of kerosene and water is being placed. Now this separating funnel or the assembly needs to be kept undisturbed for a few minutes so that the two layers are being differentiated. The upper layer is of kerosene and the lower layer is of water. Now at the bottom of the separating funnel you can see that a stopcock has been fixed, which is a screw like thing which needs to be loosened up. Why? That whatever water particles have been collected at the bottom needs to be separated and collected into a separate beaker. Okay, so this is how we can separate the water from kerosene and collect it into a beaker. And when the water is totally been separated from the mixture, you just have to fix the stopcock and it will stop flowing, and the kerosene will remain in the separating funnel as it is the separating these two immiscible liquids. So this method of separating funnel method is used for separating immiscible liquids from each other. Now we even have gas liquid and gas mixtures. Now you all know that gases also mix with liquid. Oxygen is the best example for it. In the earlier chapter, that is habitat of living, we have seen that the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere get absorbed in the water, and this is how the aquatic animals breathe the oxygen which is dissolved in it. Okay, so we have this example already. Now when we are talking about separation, in aerated drinks you might have seen that there is a mixture of gas and liquid. Okay, these aerated drinks have carbon dioxide which is mixed with water under pressure. It is being pressurized and filled inside the water. So when we remove the cap of the soda bottle, what happens? The pressure comes out. The carbon dioxide which is filled with pressure inside the bottle comes out in the form of bubbles. So this is how the gas and the liquid is being separated from each other. Now how to separate gas mixtures? Now air, you all know that it's a mixture of different gases. Now sometimes while doing experiments it's needed that we need a certain gas, we do not need other gases with it. So when we have to separate these all gases from each other, a method is used which is known as liquefaction of air, which you do not have in detail in class 6th, but you will get to know about it in your coming classes. Now our last point of the chapter is which method needs to be used when it happens that a mixture may have more than one kind of impurities. Okay, sometimes it happens that there are too many things. If by mistake something falls on the ground and it's a mixture, something else has also been fallen on the ground, and whatever thing was there in your hand also falls down, so both the things will get mixed together. So the same way, if we are trying an experiment of separating different things, different elements from each other, what all methods you are going to use to separate them? Okay, so for example, if we have a mixture of salt, sand and iron nails, we need to adopt different methods. Okay, we cannot use a single method for separating them. So the first method that we will use is magnetic separation method. Why? Because iron nails are bigger in size, even that can be removed by hand picking, but it will be easy if you just move a magnet on it. All the iron nails will get attracted towards the magnet and will easily be separated from them. Okay, now in the mixture only remains salt and sand. Now when we have to separate salt from sand, you can use a simple method by just adding water into it. Once you add water to it, what will happen? The salt which is present in the mixture will get dissolved in the water and only the salt will remain at the bottom. Once the salt is being separated from the sand is being separated from the salt solution, you can just pour it out from a filter paper and what remains? The sand remains. Okay, so this is how they can be separated. Now we have salt water or salt solution remaining, that also needs to be separated. So that thing can be separated by the method of evaporation. Okay, by which the water will get evaporated in the air and the salt will remain at the bottom. So this is how these three things, that was salt, sand and iron nails, can be separated by using three different methods. Okay, now the last thing which I want you to do, find out the answers for it, that is identify the mixtures that can be separated by a tea stainer and those that can be separated by a filter paper. Now there are some examples been given over here. You just have to sort them out into two parts: the mixtures which can be separated by tea stainer and the mixtures which can be separated by filter paper. Okay.